And Gavin Newsom had nowhere to go. And I'll play a snippet of it. Look down the road 6 months. Yes, your husband lost his job. That's why you need to sock away some money when he's gainfully employed. Yes, they foreclosed on your home. That's why you need to have a network, a community, friends, family members, money put away.
But think about it, Adam,
have the kids.
Half of African Americans in the state of California, roughly half of Latino families, have no access to a checking account or an ATM, things we take for granted. They don't have a check.
What's wrong with them?
And well, because they don't have the resources to sock those things away.
Why do we have them?
A lot of different reasons, but roughly half those families don't. Why do
Armenians have them?
But where they end up is in check cashing places.
But I want to know why those groups, why
advantage.
Those two groups don't have access.
Well, a lot of. Just happens to be that we can
so
talk
they're
about.
Flawed?
This. No, they're hardly flawed, but they're strong.
Do Asians have this problem?
I mean, a lot of communities have. A lot of whites have these problems.
Oh, so that's not just black and Hispanic.
No, but
why did you bring up black and Hispanic?
Because the magnitude is ominous.
Why blacks and Hispanics?
Across the board, all socioeconomic.
Okay, so everybody's
struggling.
So Asians are suffering just as much as blacks.
The face of welfare is not an African American family.
So it's Asian, Jewish, it's all of them.
Caucasian. It's a lot of folks in society. A lot of folks are struggling.
Okay.
But we want to go to the issue of race as it relates to the issues of poverty. And what we had in in redevelopment agencies and concentration of poverty and public housing and all of these things start to lead to why. The answer to your question of why is it concentrated in the African American community? Looking at that history, one cannot exclude that reality. I just think that's naive to suggest that those things don't matter. When families were broken up.
How about the Jews? No problems in the past?
Yeah. No, of course. Every community's got their struggles.
Who's had it worse?
Even the Irish had struggles.
Who do you think had it worse?
I get it. But
what about the Jews? It seemed to be, why are the Jews doing well?
You know what? In
Why?
1967, blacks couldn't even marry whites in this country. Not 1927. In 16 states, they were denied because people use religious arguments to deny people
Jews
interracial
got put in ovens and
I understand, and it's disgraceful.
Okay, so
and that's why, and it's completely fair game.
How are the Jews doing now?
I mean, a lot of Jewish families doing well. A lot of families struggling.
Really?
Absolutely.
At the check place?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll
go down to the check place.
Across the board, people are struggling.
All right,
of course.
As long as everyone's struggling
look at the unemployment lines.
A lot of Jews.
It includes Americans of all types, all races, all ethnicities, all sexual orientations.
They're all the same.
My gosh.
That's right.
Your assertion.
If you really cared about these people, you'd focus on the real problem.
Which is?
Families.
Families are profoundly important.
Okay.
And we do care about families. And
all right, that's the answer.
I agree. I don't know. I wish it was that simple, but God bless you. I think it's absolutely critical. I agree with you. We're not denying that.
It's simple. Father, stay at home, raise your family, do your homework with your kids, put an emphasis on education, like the Jews, like the Asians, and let's see what happens to the problem in 20 years. How many of you are at the check cashing place.
What I don't like is then the sort of assertion within the statement. It's what you're not to suggest that the Latino community doesn't value those same things or African. I just don't accept that.
Well, they don't value it to the extent that some other groups do.
No. Yeah.
You don't agree with that?
Your opinion.
I think statistics back me up.
Yeah, well, I think it's a much more complex issue.
That's not not complex at all. It was 50 minutes of that.
Okay, that's one of the most I don't know if this is being filmed or not, but I was literally twisted around in my chair, and that was unbelievable.